Now, our homes should be a safe haven, but every year around 6,000 people die as a result of an accident that has happened in their home.
Very shortly, Dr Ranj will talk you through some of the hidden dangers and what to do to stay safe. But first, we're going to speak to a viewer, and that's Josie Wardle. Josie's in Newcastle today. And Jodie, tell me, after watching an item on this very show, you were able to save a life. Tell us about that, and congratulations to you.
Well, I was recently on holiday and I was dining in one of the resorts when I noticed a man on the table next to us started choking. So I quickly jumped up and started performing the Heimlich manoeuvre. And after a couple of moments, the food dislodged and he started breathing again. But I only knew what to do because of Dr Ranj's videos.
That's amazing. So you'd seen that on this morning. Were you frightened, Jodie, or did you just, because you'd seen it and you had it in your head that you were able to do that, and then you kind of afterwards the shock sets in?
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking, to be honest, Ruth. I just done it.
And what was the reaction of the man once, you know, you'd got that food out, he stopped choking, he's there with his family?
They were very grateful, and all the people in the restaurant were clapping and they were all grateful.
I'm sure they were. I mean,
the thing is, Jodie, you look at this and we see the demonstration running on the screen now with Ranj, but you sort of think it's one thing seeing it, it's another thing doing it. I mean, was it just an automatic reaction, or do you think that you had, you know, absorbed so much it was like second nature to you?
I'm not sure. Something just kicked in and I remembered what I had seen, and it was just an adrenaline rush. I jumped up and done it, and just by watching Dr Ranj's 2-minute video, that saved someone's life.
Well, it's amazing. What would you like to say to Jodie? I mean, you must feel so proud listening to that.
I'm hugely proud. And Jodie, well done. I know it's not easy when you're in that emergency situation to remain calm and know what to do. But as you said, it kicks in. It's just a few simple steps that you need to know. And like you did, congratulations, you could save a life. And, you know, it's so, so important that people know this.
Jodie, it's lovely to talk to you, and well done. And that man and his family must be so thrilled and
indebted to you forever.
Indebted to you forever that you were there. It is so important.
Yes.
And choking, it's very frightening when it happens, whether it's your children or an adult. And so you wanted today to demonstrate again, so that maybe another Jodie might be somewhere.
Absolutely.
And save another life.
So we're going to talk a lot about home health hazards today, hazards around the home, because as we know, a lot of people are at home during the summer holidays, particularly children who are especially vulnerable. And the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accident released a huge report in October 2018 and identified 4 main priorities to improve safety at home. It was choking and suffocation, burns, falls, and poisoning, so ingesting things. So we're going to talk about choking really quickly. First and foremost, it is all about prevention, I would say, especially with little ones, under 5s especially.
So leaving things
make
around
sure
that
you
they can
supervise them when they're playing, inspect their toys and make sure there aren't any little bits that they could choke on. Use a baby monitor. If you're not using it anymore, you could just have it on in the room so you can listen out if you're not in the room with them, that they might be choking. You might hear something going on. Make sure you cut their food up into small pieces. And similar to choking with suffocation, is the big issue around blind cords. Make sure blind cords are cut short and
window
out of
blinds,
reach.
you mean? Yeah.
Window blind cords.
Yeah.
Or use window apparatus that doesn't use cords at all, because we've had lots of sad stories around that.
I just think, Ranj, they should never be fitted without those safety devices attached.
Well, there's huge campaigns going on around that. So if somebody does choke, the first thing to do, there's 3 main points to remember. Cough it out, slap it out, push it out. So if they're able to cough effectively by themselves, let them do that, because they are going to be the best people to clear their own airway. And then if they can't do that, then you have to act. And there's a slightly different procedure for under 1s as it is for over 1s and adults. So I'll go through the over 1s first of all. As I said, encourage them to cough it out first. You may just need to lean them slightly forward and support them. If they can't cough it out, or they're starting to lose consciousness, or you're worried that, you know, they may go blue, they may stop breathing altogether, they may not be able to shift much air at all, the first thing you're going to do is slap it out. And that is lean them slightly forward, 5 sharp blows between the shoulder blades. So using the heel of your hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After each blow, check to see if they've coughed it out. If they haven't coughed it out after 5 back blows, then what you're going to need to do is secure yourself behind them, and you're going to do abdominal thrusts, or the Heimlich manoeuvre. So 1 fist between the bottom of the rib cage and the belly button, other hand over the top, and you're going to pull inwards and upwards. And you're pulling pretty hard.
Because I see this and you think, could you actually do it?
In other words, don't be afraid of
So
hurting.
you put your
fist
like
halfway
that.
between the bottom of the rib cage and the belly button, other hand over the top, and you're going to pull inwards
There,
and upwards
and like
5
there.
times.
So
check after each one.
Oh, I'm lifting the whole thing
That's
up.
it. Check after each one to see if they've coughed anything out.
quite
If they
hard to do.
haven't, alternate back blows with abdominal thrust and keep going.
So
ideally,
in
make
and
sure.
up.
Yeah, exactly. In and up.
And are you still leaning them forward?
You are still trying to lean them slightly forward if you can. Ideally, make sure somebody is called 999 or shouted for help. If they lose consciousness, then you're going to start CPR. Now, babies and children under the age of 1 are slightly different. First of all, encourage them to cough it out, support them whilst they do so. If they can't do that, their back blows, what you want to do is support their head and tilt them slightly downwards. You may put them on your knee or just on your forearm and give them 5 sharp blows between the shoulder
And you're
blades.
using the heel of your hand.
Heel of your hand again, and you're checking after each one to see if they've coughed
And
it
it's
out.
got to be quite sharp.
It has got to be quite sharp because you're trying to dislodge this item, and make sure you support the head when you do so. If that doesn't work after 5 back blows, turn them over. 5 chest thrusts. 2 fingers, middle of the chest, and you're trying to push the object out of their lungs 5 times. Again, check each time. Alternate back blows and chest thrusts. And if that doesn't work or they're starting to lose consciousness, make sure you start CPR.
So you're not doing the Heimlich
Makes me feel
manoeuvre
nervous.
there.
So little ones, children under the age of 1, you're not doing the Heimlich manoeuvre purely because of the risk of injury from doing the Heimlich manoeuvre.
Yeah.
So under ones, it's chest thrusts. Over ones and adults, it's the Heimlich manoeuvre or abdominal
Now,
thrusts.
we're watching you, and this is a tutorial, this is a teaching lesson that you're giving here. What's missing from all of this, of course, is panic.
Panic,
Yes.
Right? People shouting, screaming, choking, goodness knows what's going on at the minute. Keeping cool,
Yes,
keeping
absolutely.
calm.
That's the most important thing. Stay calm. Chances are you are going to be able to sort this out. Shout for help. Make sure somebody is called 999 and just act. Remember, cough it out, slap it out, push it out.
because time is against you.
Well, time is really, really important. The quicker you act, the more likely you are to dislodge this item.
Right, so that's choking. We're saying a lot of accidents happen at home. What's the most common?
So one of the most common is falls. And that's really, really important. So, first of all, it's all about prevention. So declutter your stairs, put stair gates in so that children, don't have easy access to them. Use non-slip mats in the bath. Window restrictors are really important on every window that's above ground floor level. The number of children that fall out of windows is really, really sad. And this is my biggest bugbear. Please don't change your children's nappies on changing tables. Always change them on the floor.
Well,
So many babies
does
we
check-
see roll off or
Off a
fall off
changing
changing
table.
tables and fall onto the floor and end up coming to A&E. If you think your child has injured themselves,
Why do they
possibly...
sell changing tables then, if it's so dangerous?
It's to make it easier for grown-ups. Okay. And actually what I say is put your mat on the floor and change them on the floor. If you think your child has broken a bone, the important thing to do is immobilise that bone. So that means just wrap it up, give them some painkillers and obviously then take them to A&E. If you think they've sustained a significant head injury, if it's anything more than anything mild or you're worried, you've got to go and get them checked, especially if they're drowsy, vomiting, they've got abnormal behaviour,
What about
abnormal
people
movement.
saying, have they had anything to eat or drink? So if your child's knocked itself unconscious, then they come round...
Doesn't
and
matter.
Does it matter if you give them a drink of water?
You can let them
or-
have something to eat and drink, and you don't necessarily need to keep them awake either. Just take them and get them checked out if you're concerned, especially if they're very, very young and you're worried that they may have a significant injury. The other thing I really want to quickly touch on is burns. Burns and scalds is another major health hazard at home. And again, prevention, it's all about making sure hot drinks and objects are away from edges of things. We see so many toddlers go to grab their parents' coffee cups that are on the coffee table and pull them over themselves. Saucepan handles, trailing wires from kettles and straighteners, make sure they're out of the way. Make sure if you're using straighteners, you put them away, out of the way. Irons are exactly the same. And when it comes to bath time, put cold water in the bath before you add the warm. And people always do it the other way around, and sometimes the water's a bit too hot for the little one. If they do burn themselves, remove the heat source, cool the area down by running it under a cool tap for at least 20 minutes. Don't put
20
ice.
minutes?
Yes, at least 20 minutes. Don't put ice or anything else on it. Assess it. If it looks bad, give them some painkillers, cover it with a single layer of cling film and take them to A&E to get it checked out.
Ranj, thank you very much.
You,
indeed.
Ranj.
We could spend a whole programme on
this,
but thank you. And amazing to think that advice on previous programmes actually helped to save a life.